On it. I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah. I saw that coming. I saw that coming.
That was a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Holy.
Isn't that terrible? Just 2 plates.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like a bitch?
Yeah.
Huh?
I can do this with my eyes closed.
4, let's go.
It's too easy.
5, come on.
It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiending.
You guys have seen lots of these videos over the years. I've been competing since 1988. And every time some OG, some retired, washed up, crusty old bodybuilder gets together with a young cat, he wants to crush him. So he takes him into deep water. I see it over and over again. Do 100 reps, or take 10-second rest, do this, run over here and do that. Next thing you know, hunched over, gasping for air, and sweating a lot. And OG's like, yeah, you know, I showed that young cat. That's a bullshit workout. It's not what we're here for. Try and teach Kenny how to get the most for his goals, which is out of hypertrophy training. The primary driver of that's mechanical tension. Metabolic stress and muscle damage are largely passengers, and they pretty much, muscle damage in particular, just happens from training hard enough. Right. You come into a 10-hour workout, you're not gonna build as much muscle as you do 10 hard 1-hour workouts over a period of 60 days or so, or 30 days, you know, to a week. Anyhow, I love training hard. I'm an old powerlifter, bodybuilder. I've had some brutal training sessions, but the goal is to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, not to take it from 1 to 100, and not to expose, you know, oxygen debt, like we said yesterday, or just get you into a rep range where lactate clearance becomes the limiting factor. Mechanical tension.
Yeah.
And progression of that over time, and making sure that load is on the muscles that you're trying to grow, because you have strengths and you have weaknesses that you're trying to focus on.
Right.
And we said yesterday that the goal was to get more hypertrophy in the distal portion of the quadricep.
Oh yeah.
So once we find the right exercise today, and we can purposefully and stretch that body part,
Let's do it.
then that's where we'll stay, and then you progress that over time. So I call it battle ropes and burpees. That's what coaches do with their clients, their weight loss clients.
Yep.
If they can get them breathing really hard and sweat, and they really think they're doing something, but it doesn't work any better than a calorie deficit and walking.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in terms of hypertrophy, same thing. If I can get you all breathing heavy and throwing up, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So, not my goal today. We'll train hard, but we'll train effectively in something that you can progress over time.
Awesome.
So, I do a bike. I'm only supposed to rest a minute or two, but and then I come do a hamstring. I'll do 3 hard hamstring sets and 3 10-second, and then we're ready to get under a growth exercise for quads.
Do it. I know it's gonna be hard, but I expect to learn a lot. I think everything's gonna be a lot more efficient. Talking to Stan the other day, me and Mark have been doing a lot of junk volume, I will say.
So what's the focus here? Obviously mechanical tension, intensity. Gonna take this to within a rep or two of failure. Range of motion, we wanna make sure we go to full extension. Some machines, the stack bottoms out before you can get a really good stretch. That's why I like the seated hamstring curl. 2 parts of the hamstring we like to train in each workout, knee hinge and a hip hinge. This will be our knee hinge exercise. I do like to do these first. They seem to really help with my knees when squatting. When you prioritize an exercise, you tend to invest more into it, such as hamstrings is often done at the end of a workout with less intensity or maybe volume. So multiple benefits to that. And he'll go to pretty close to failure. Rep range doesn't really matter, but I find an exercise like this, you can do more reps without getting oxygen debt. Squats, generally my rep range would be around 5 to 8, but you get on a hack squat machine, you can do 8 to 12. You get on a leg press, maybe 12 to 15, simply because you get less oxygen debt with different exercises. They're demanding in a different way. But all of them provide equivalent hypertrophy. Obviously you get stronger with 5s than you do at the 20s. And there's a time for higher rep stuff as you get closer to competition. Maybe you're just burning more calories, but I still keep the weight pretty heavy. Go hit one more bike. We're going to try and find an exercise that doesn't hurt your knees, that allows you, when Usually with that high angle plate heel lift, you can get the knees forward, sit deep enough to get a really massive stretch right here, and not have everything loaded, on your hips and ass.
Yeah, right.
So right now, after having done the bikes and stuff, I can drop right down into a full deep squat.
Yeah.
If you're pretty young, pretty mobile, it's probably not a problem for you.
Yeah.
You don't have any current knee pain.
No.
Okay, well, let's try and see how far we can get those knees over the toes today.
Let's do it.
Or how much stretch we can get in that quad.
Let's do it.
I like it. See, I'm able to get into your position now without any pain.
That's
just
interesting.
I raised my heels
a
little bit. You can get more hypertrophy in the distal, in the end of the muscle, the more it stretches. Beautiful.
Let's do it. I feel like without this, it takes me fucking 4 or 5 sets to just activate or feel or connect with this part, but you've done a total of like, what, 5 reps?
This one's gonna be great. This is the set you live for right here.
Yeah.
I always say you can build an entire workout around 1 or 2 awesome sets.
Yeah. No, I already feel
warm up.
Giant pump in this area.
We're putting everything into this. Maybe eventually you could get a 3rd set. I don't know.
Yeah.
In my mind, if you could do a 3rd set, you probably didn't. I've said this to many.
Train hard enough.
I've said this to many clients over the year. We get done doing squats, and I'm like, hey, you got enough energy to do some leg extensions? And you're like, oh yeah. Do another set of squats.
Yeah.
And they look at me and they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
They should lie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's how I ask myself.
Right.
Did I pour everything into those 2 sets?
Well, this alone, I mean, shit, you've seen what we've been doing with Mark. It's kind of more high volume-ish, fluffy-ish training, I'd say.
And you feel like you're just breathing hard all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And
I feel like I'm doing cardio.
The stimulus we're trying to.
Yeah, I have a bigger pump. Yeah.
But it's not the optimal stimulus for hypertrophy.
Yeah.
Because mechanical tension is the primary driver.
Right.
Let's give this a try. I think I'm ready.
Do it.
I moved the stops up one just in case.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to failing. I'm really not.
Let's do it.
I don't care what all the PhDs tell you. I'm not opposed to failing.
Stand.
Yeah,
let's go. 2. 3. Come on. 4. Let's go. 5. Come on. Let's go. 6. Let's go. 7. Come on. Let's go. At least 1 more.
Wasn't gonna be there. I was gonna fail miserably on that one.
And that's smart though.
You're done.
Yeah.
I'm here. Nice. Good, great depth. Nice. I got you. Yep. You're getting there. You're right there. Good, I got you. That's it, racket.
Racket.
Beautiful.
Oh,
That was
shit.
failure.
That was
Beautiful.
great. Thank you.
That was awesome.
That felt great.
The way Flex trained me back in '09 and the way John Meadows talked about his training throughout those many years, you do a warm-up, it's kind of a mind-muscle connection. You jump in and you have your one mass exercise. I think he called it the blast, was his term. And you dump everything into that. Then you pick the next exercise is, it was kind of a metabolic stress. It's for a pump. Right. Although Schoenfeld since put out subsequent research to suggest that metabolic stress really, through a different mechanism, does the same thing as mechanical tension. Right. So I do want to play around with one other exercise that you might incorporate over time, where we can get some little more repetitions and feel it. We use a safety squat bar on an angle plate, get ourselves positioned to hold on to something in front of us so we can stay keep our hips close to the bar and our knees far from the bar, and try and stretch this quad. And then we'll finish with some leg extensions. So I can keep my knees over toes, hips close to my heels, and I'm not pushing out with my butt. I'm going straight up.
Right.
Sometimes I'll push my hands up here to do the movement. Tell me that's not a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that feels good.
Tell me that's not a beautiful thing. How's that feel?
That feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do the hands up. There you go. Tell me that. Come on. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And let's get a plate on there. I'm breaking straight out at the knees on this. Normally I'm telling everybody break at the hips. This one I'm just going right out of the knees.
Oh yeah.
Nice and easy. Control the eccentric. Pause in the hole. Stretch that
Hands
quad.
up from the start?
That's what I like.
Okay.
That's what I like. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Usually we like to wait 24 hours before we talk shit.
Yeah.
But not that I was counting, but I beat you on the last exercise. Just wanted to.
I fucking know that.
And I'm older than your dad, just so you know. And I'm natty. At least this morning. I haven't done.
Your bio says not natty.
I'm natty today. Day ain't over.
Your bio says not natty, right? We know the truth.
Natty this morning. Oh, that's beautiful. Fuck, that's beautiful, Biggs. Come on. Feel that. Spend some time down there enjoying that. Enjoy that stretch. Yeah. Attaboy. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Yep.
Slows down quick, don't it? I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah. I saw that coming. I saw that coming.
That was a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Holy.
Isn't that terrible? Just 2 plates.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like a bitch?
Yeah.
Huh?
I feel like a female right now.
Yeah. That's the humbling thing about these exercises, but I promise you, you keep doing these week over week over week, you'll be doing 405 for 8. I promise you.
Yeah, that knocked me down like. So yeah, before I was doing this with like 4 or 5 plates, I thought I was the man, but I was getting all
ass. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, if your front quads looked like your ass, how would that be?
That would be nice.
That'd be nice. That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. I'm gonna do one more here just because it feels so good, and we'll finish with extensions and call it a day. Oftentimes I split quads and hamstrings. I'll come back at night and do 20 minutes of hammies, just because I'll drain all my energy on quads, and I know I'm not going to invest.
Will you do
A hip hinge
like
at night.
all my hip, like an RDO and a curl?
Yeah,
That's
something
it?
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I like that cambered bar. Good morning.
Oh yeah.
Just because it really lends. At first, I get a huge stretch,
Yeah.
and it lends itself well to the deadlift. And ultimately, I always have that in my back of my mind.
Deadlift. Yeah.
Are you still a man? Can you deadlift?
Exactly.
As long as your knee is at the hinge point here, and then the stack doesn't bottom out. And live right there. When the weight gets heavier, you just live right there with that stretching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I used to train with Brandon Ray. You ever seen B-Ray?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude's massive. Not very strong.
Yeah.
Not very strong. I beat him on everything by a long shot.
Yeah.
Twice my size. You know, muscles don't know weight. But he's very disciplined, great range of motion, a lot of mind-muscle connection, trains within a rep of failure. You know, the load isn't of too much concern to him.
So how many of these, how many workouts
maybe
like this?
3. Oh, I do twice every 8 days. I do upper body day off, lower body day off.
How do you sprinkle in like your deadlift days though? Is that just,
that
deadlifts with accessories?
Deadlift's not a great exercise for hypertrophy, for bodybuilding. The range of motion suck. It's a lot of glute and spinal erector. Not things you need, you know? No real range of motion for the back either. And I love deadlifts. I'm a powerlifter at heart.
Yeah.
But not a great hypertrophy exercise. if I'm trying to train deadlifts, I'll pull once every 4 or 5 weeks using these other exercises, hopefully to carry over to increasing my deadlift over time. To me, strength is really a test. Deadlift's a test of, is my training making me bigger and stronger?
So use this to gauge your...
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I use a 1 rep max deadlift every 4 or 5 weeks, or pretty close to it, when I'm training deadlift, which isn't year round, just to see if my other progressing, other exercises, the box squat, the camber bar, good mornings, to see if those are actually working, or do they transfer to the deadlift?
Right.
You know, and if powerlifting's my goal and they don't transfer, I pick a different exercise to progress.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That to me would be a wrap. Like I said, I might come back tonight and do some hip hinges and calves.
Yeah.
You know, we do it now, but we're already over an hour in.
Yeah.
And I kind of like to go eat and drink. Yeah. And the neat thing is you'll wake up tomorrow and your muscles will be sore, but not your joints.
Yeah.
And you won't have as much systemic fatigue, like as if you squatted 500. The next day you're just, you know, your brain fog and you're just generally beat. Kind of hard to do another workout. Yeah. So I think we got all the stimulus with the minimal amount of fatigue, and it was focused in the areas that we wanted it. That's what we did today, just 3 exercises.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and even then only 2 and 2 in terms of sets.
Yeah.
We did 7 total sets.
That's crazy.
For quads, and I usually don't do more than that. You know?
Yeah. God damn. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good one, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Woo! All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. What does Mark say? Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. I'm out of here.
Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed.